Life shouldn't be hard. Life should be a fun-filled adventure every day. So now start joining up dots. Tap into your talents, your skills, your God-given gifts, and tell your boss you don't deserve me. I'm out of here. It's time for you to smash that alarm clock and start getting the dream business and life you, well, of course, are dreaming of. Let's join your host, David Ralph, from the back of his garden in the UK, or wherever he might be today, with another jammed-packed episode of the #1 hit podcast, Join Up Dots.
Yeah, good morning to you, and welcome to episode 6 of the Get Rich podcast series. All right, let's shift gears today, because up until now, if you've been following along, you might be feeling a little bit restricted. We've been looking at where your money's going. We've been looking at how you can cut back and keep control on it. And we've certainly been questioning your decisions. And if we're not careful, that can just start to feel like restrictions, and nobody really wants that. Everybody doesn't want to spend their life saying no. But this is where it changes in this episode, because this is where we are now going to be moving towards getting rich. You've started questioning, you've done all that kind of stuff, as we say, but this is where the energy comes back, because today isn't about what you can't do, it's about what you've already got sitting around you right now, that you've never really truly seen it for what it is, okay? It is money-making adventures all around you. Let me paint a picture. Imagine walking into your own home, but seeing it completely through different eyes. It's not as your house. It's not as the place where you come home after a hard day's work and just lock the door behind you and think, oh, thank God for that. It's not your comfort zone, but it's a place filled with opportunities, because that's what it is. You've just never been shown how to look. Rich thinking is about seeing opportunities where other people don't. Most people think that wealth starts when something new arrives, a new job, a new idea, a new opportunity, but that's not how it really works. Wealth doesn't start when something new comes in. It starts the moment you start realizing and seeing what's already there and thinking about it in a different way. If I went back a few years, there was a time when I thought exactly the same as most people listening now. I just needed something else, something bigger, something better. And while I was thinking that, I was completely ignoring the gold that was sitting right under my nose. Skills I built up over years, time that I was wasting without even noticing, and ideas that I dismissed because they felt too small, or I thought somebody else might have done it already. And I see it now all the time in people everywhere. They're waiting. They're waiting for the perfect idea. They're waiting for the right time. They're waiting until they feel ready. They're waiting until they've got a little bit of surplus funds so that they can... But the truth is, you're already ready. You're just not looking properly. So let's start breaking it down, because when I say you've got assets around you, I don't mean, for most of us, yachts and properties and big flashy things. I mean the real stuff, the everyday stuff, the things you're overlooking because they just feel normal. So let's start with your skills. Now, I know most people will be sitting there thinking, but I haven't got any skills. That's rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. If you've worked a job, you've got skills. If you've raised a family, you've got skills. If you've solved problems in your life, you've got skills. You've just labelled them as ordinary because they come naturally to you. But what's easy for you isn't easy for every single other person on earth. And that's where value lives. You have got something that you can do. You can teach somebody somewhere. Okay? Someone somewhere is looking for what you've got. Okay? Go and find them. Get that information down in some kind of format and present it to them. Now, you can look at your time, and this is a big one because people always say, oh, I haven't got time. But when you really look at it, you've got pockets everywhere. You've got evenings scrolling or watching Netflix. You've got weekends sitting in front of the football or having a nap or something. Just moments that disappear without purpose. And you do need to relax, of course, because you don't want to just be doing this all the time. But what if you just took a small part of that time? So instead of Sunday mornings thinking, oh, I'll just have it as a lay in, get up at 7 o'clock and work till 11. Yeah, just 4 hours. And then you can find the time to build something and create something through those skills you've got or those opportunities that you're finding. Not forever, just enough to create something. I used to get up early Sunday morning and get all of Join Up Ducks done before anybody else started. And people couldn't imagine how I could create so much in my life. And it was because I was just doing it in the gaps that other people wasted. Okay? It was really, really easy. We've all got the time. We've all got the skills. And we've certainly all got unused items. And this is one of my favourite ones because this is where no one can walk away from it. No one, because this is real. If you look around your home now, you will have a cupboard that you haven't opened in months. You've got that equipment gathering dust, that spare room, that driveway sitting empty that somebody might want to rent out, okay? Whatever. All things that cost you money could be quietly bringing money back in. There was an advert on the TV. Send us your old items. I can't think who it was now because the wife did it. But all we did was box up old Apple iPhones and different things and that and lobbed them in a box and sent it away. And we made £80. And that was just £80 that I would have probably just thrown in the bin. But we just boxed it up. And there's loads of companies like that looking for your old equipment that's just sitting there, your old PlayStations, your old clothes, whatever. You could quietly be bringing money back into your life just for a slight bit of effort. 4 hours on a Sunday morning, walk around your house, look at all the things that you haven't used, pull them up on the desk, Google companies that want those items and then see who comes up. And then you can send them off to them and make money, okay? We walk past them every single day without a second thought because most people can't be bothered. It's only £80, but £80 can be then used to make £200. £200 could then be used to make £1,000. That is how you build wealth. You find opportunities that other people don't see, and then you use those rewards to invest and to build wealth. People don't become wealthy by working. They become wealthy by creating opportunities that other people don't see. Okay? And the best thing is, once you've done that once, then you've got knowledge. You've got everything you've learned, everything you've experienced, and everything you've figured out the hard way. That's even more value to you, massive value. Because it's yours, though, you think, well, everyone knows that. But they don't. And even if they do, they haven't lived it the way you have. And there will be people out there looking for that information. That is where all the coaching comes from. People have gone through hard times. They've come out the other side. They've got that knowledge, and then they can share it to ease the way. Massive value. And when you put all this together, your skills, your time, your stuff, your knowledge, you start to realize something quite powerful. You're not starting from zero. You're not even close to starting from zero. You're actually standing in the middle of the route to getting rich. You're right in the middle bit, okay? You've just got to see that shift. And instead of saying, I need more, you start saying, what can I do with what I've already got? How can I make money from that driveway that's just sitting there? How can I, whatever, okay? That's the question right there. That's where momentum begins. Now, through Join Up Dots, I very rarely now tell you to go out and build some massive business overnight because most people can't do that and it doesn't really work, okay? That's not what this is about. This Get Rich podcast series is about opening your eyes and seeing things differently and taking that first small step. Because once you do that, everything becomes easier. It really does, okay? You just have to start today, not next week, not tomorrow. You've got to start today, looking at your life and thinking, what can I use to make value, create, earn income, put my money to work. So What I want you to do in this podcast episode is sit down properly. No distractions. Don't do laptop and your phone while Netflix is on or whatever. Get paper, jot it down so it's real, and list 10 things you already have that could generate income. And it may not be things that you want to do, but that's not the point. It might be, okay, I could rent out a bedroom, Airbnb. I could rent out my driveway. I could, whatever. It's totally up to you. But list 10 things that you already have in your life that could generate income. And I really want you to push yourself there, because the first few will be obvious, but the real gold comes when you keep going. And if you do 10, do 20, do 30, because you'll find that more opportunities come to you when you start training yourself. And when you start stretching your thinking, when you move past I can't or oh, maybe I could, and you don't overcomplicate things, you'll never unsee it again. You'll just look at everything. I talk about it in Join Up Dots all the time, about driving around and just seeing businesses everywhere, opportunities everywhere. The world is full of opportunities. You don't need more to get started. You don't need permission. You don't need the perfect idea. You just need to look at your life differently and see, what have I already got that I can use to make income? What do I need to begin that's already within reach? Okay? Big step, this one. Big step. You're moving from controlling your money to actually creating your own opportunities. So, as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to Join Up Dots. And as always, share it with someone else who might need the same shift. Maybe you could work together and challenge each other to come up with 10 ideas or 20 ideas, whatever. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Very, very few people do, but it really, really helps us. And until next time, keep joining up those dots. Keep looking at that life that you lead and think to yourself, where is the value? What can I rent out? What can I create with what I've already got? Because your life will never be the same again when you start thinking this way. Until next time, we will see you again. Look after yourselves. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye.
Waking up.